Hello and welcome back everyone, I'm Day-Glo Buffalo and this is Let's Play Kathy Rain Blind. When we last left off, we were outside the Conwell Springs Community Clinic, where we heard that we can find Charles Wade and ask him a few questions. So, we have talked to Goober. Can we take a look at the trash can?
Yep, it's full of trash. Figure that.
And she can tell from all the way over there, so she does not need glasses.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Anyway, let's see if there's anything else that we can interact with besides the entrance. Can we walk off screen? Nope. Doesn't seem like there's anything else, so I guess we'll just have to go inside. And of course, there's a receptionist, who we'll probably have to get by somehow, because she's not just gonna let us up. Oh yes, of course, Charles Wade, right this way, so you can talk to him.
No thanks. Women's magazines make my brain melt.
This is an adventure game, after all.
She looks bored out of her mind. Pretty understandable, to be honest. Excuse me, nurse? Hey, nurse!
She's wearing headphones.
Yeah?
Don't pay you much, huh? Not to strain yourself.
They don't pay you much, huh?
No shit. What do you want?
I'm here to see Charles Wade.
Never heard of him. Anything else?
Bullshit. I know he's here. Listen, it's okay. I'm a friend of the family.
No, you're not, and I said he's not here. Don't make me call security.
What a bitch. I need to get rid of her somehow.
See? What'd I tell you?
Rows and columns of files. Probably easier to use the computer if I need to do some digging.
Of course, we first have to get rid of the nurse.
Smoking allowed. Guess this place is a bit behind on healthcare regulations. A calendar from 1991. Guess they really liked that year. Was expecting plastic, but this looks like a real plant.
Fancy.
I can't read it from here. I can't read it from here.
And she can't get closer?
I can't read it from... A computer. They likely keep records of their patients on it. Pretty sure she would object to that.
So, how do we get rid of her?
She looks bored out of her mind. Pretty understandable, to be honest. Uncomfortable, hard plastic chairs. It's like they're intentionally trying to keep people out. No thanks.
I don't know why I keep on trying... I don't know why I always want to tase people in this game, but, you know, it's worth a try.
I wish, but she'd just call security on me.
Not if she's passed out.
I prefer to smoke outdoors. I don't want to show her. I don't want to show her that. A calendar from smoking.
How can we distract her? Oh. We have an expert in distraction out here.
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi!
His name's Goober.
So, how good an actor are you?
The best! The very best!
You know, that nurse in there, she said she loved you in all those movies, and that she always wished you'd give her a live performance.
I knew it! She always gave me these strange looks. I thought it was contempt, but her face must just be cramping up from shyness.
Yeah, that's definitely it. She'd love to see you act, I'm sure.
I'm gonna have to oblige. Which movie do you think she'd like the best?
I would go with Jacob's Bladder. It's the one with the medical condition in it.
Definitely Jacob's Bladder.
I'm feeling the pressure.
So, do we just walk in after him?
Oh, Jenny, everything is forgiven. You and me were like peas and carrots. I'm just so full of your love that I think I'm about to burst. Jenny, where did you go? Oh, I don't feel so good. Thank you, thank you. You've been a great audience.
That wasn't really an electrifying performance. I'll have to intervene somehow.
Okay. Intervene how?
Hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how about another show?
Sure.
But... is it that it was the right performance and we didn't intervene, or was it the wrong performance?
Probably The Silence of Lambert.
Oh, I'm gonna be loud.
That sounds promising because she's got headphones on and she might not hear him.
Al Consuelo, how I wish I could speak. I have so many things left to say. My chest!
I
no!
don't want to
It
interrupt
can't
the
be.
show.
Hold me!
Goober,
Thank
friendly
you, thank
bum in
you.
denial.
You've been a great audience.
So, doesn't seem like we can intervene.
hey, doofus.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
Sure.
how about
Business. I can't believe you guys did all this for me. You know, what's that smell? Bacon? Oh, Bobby, my head hurts. I'm seizing.
Nurse? He's seizing!
Oh, shit!
Man, I feel like a total jackass. I'll have to make it up to the poor guy later.
Oh yeah, we just tased him. We finally got to use it.
A computer. They likely keep records of their patients on it.
So let's see if we can look up where Charles Wade is. Oh, great. Do we have to use our disc again? C. Mendez. Otorgador. Okay. Alright, C. Mendez. I think it was with a D, not with a T. Is it Mendez with a Z? Ah, here we are. Charles Wade, date of birth 8/14/24. 8/24/95. Referral from Dr. A. Friedman, St. Francis Medical Center, Kansas City. Patient has undergone successful invasive heart surgery and was transferred to this facility at his own request. The initial prognosis looks good, and the patient is likely to make a full recovery in 6 to 8 weeks. Room 6B, status stable. All right. Well, that's all we need. Hopefully.
It's all right, Claude.
Understood, sir.
So, you managed to find me.
I did.
Well, let's get this over with then. How do you want your pictures? Shall I get some tubes to fill my face with? Will that suffice for your front page?
I'm no journalist. Well, not yet anyway.
Ah, she's but a cub. So, you're hoping for your big break. Surely this must be worth an internship at one of the big papers. Do you want me to call Thompson at the Times and get it over with? I still play golf with him every once in a while.
It's not what this is about. It's personal. You're assuming a lot, Mr. Wade. I don't need to piggyback on favors. I make my own way.
You're assuming a lot, Mr. Wade.
Guilty as charged. It's a stance I find remarkably effective for a man with little time and a tendency to be correct.
You might want to rethink that attitude. I have a history of surprising people.
Is that so? Very well. I'll indulge you for now. Who are you then?
I'm Kathy Rain. Joseph was my grandfather.
Now I remember. You were at the funeral.
I was.
You were late.
I needed my morning smoke. Besides, it's not like Grandpa was going anywhere.
Oh, just look at her, Claude. She's absolutely fearless. That's Joseph's blood running through her veins.
She certainly has a smart mouth, sir.
I must say, you have me intrigued, Kathy. What can this old man help you with?
All right. Well, as always, let's go down the list.
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in '81?
I wish I did, Kathy. You must know I did everything in my power to help. How do you think Mary Elizabeth could afford all that expensive treatment? MRIs, neurologists, say what you will about Joseph, but he was never rich.
Strange. Grandma never mentioned that to me.
She's just too proud. At first she refused. She was convinced that I had an agenda, that there were strings attached.
And were there?
Don't be silly. Despite all that had happened, I still loved Joseph dearly. I wanted to help. People from places like this have a deeply rooted mistrust in the rich, passed on for generations. In her eyes, I had become one of them.
So that's all you know about the whole affair?
Are you implying that there's more to know? I left the diagnosis to the professionals. Mrs. Rain accepted the health care, but asked me to stay out of everything else. So I did.
I see. What can you tell me about your friendship with Grandpa?
Joseph was the best friend I ever had. We grew up together, married our high school sweethearts together, went to war together. I can't even begin to count the number of times he's saved my life. I repaid the favor once or twice, but he came up ahead, no doubt.
So, when did you two lose touch? I heard that something happened between you and him. What was it?
The truth is, Brian Rain happened. Sharon Evans happened.
My parents?
Yes. They ruined everything with their vile, destructive behavior. I couldn't have that around my daughter or my newborn grandson. Joseph was naive. He believed that anyone could be helped, that anyone could be reasoned with, given a chance. He was just too good, bless him. He should have been harder on Brian, more strict.
Agree with him about tough love, tell him Grandpa is not to be blamed, say nothing.
It's hardly Grandpa's fault. He did everything he could to set my father straight.
Oh, I never claimed to doubt Joseph's commitment, but I'm not going to ignore his flaws either. Your grandfather often used his heart when he should have used his head.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I believe it is, objectively. But I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. Eventually, my company grew much too large for this little town, and we moved on. Not long after that, your grandfather ended up in that wheelchair. That marked the end of our friendship, for obvious reasons.
You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers. Why?
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the paintings speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, I had it valued by an expert who determined that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for. Today, I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold or more if it wasn't for the art theft.
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here in town. It was all over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
So, the paintings were stolen, apparently, and he said he had them appraised that were worth 3 times as much as he paid for, so $15,000. Although today they would be worth 10 times as much as he paid for them, so...
Do you recognize the call sign Cocky?
Would be strange if I didn't, since I was the one who coined it. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
Perfect. Thanks.
Alright, so let's talk about Jimmy Cochran.
Tell me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a literal sense. He's been held in a mental institution for years.
Let me guess. Since 81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place, Kathy.
It's not by any chance that he's talking to his bladder. The guy in the psych ward.
I do. My Mother is in there. Sharon Evans? I had her committed about a year ago.
I see. It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, Kathy. Mothers have a lot of power over us, more than most of us care to admit.
I guess so. Do you know why Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive-compulsive syndrome. He became fixated with circles and started hurting himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Creepy. I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now.
All right. It's not too late to continue the conversation, though.
Can you tell me about the art theft?
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out. Fairly clumsy job. Lots of broken windows. The strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso, untouched. But every single painting by an unknown local artist, gone.
That can't be a coincidence.
Agreed. Somebody wanted those paintings badly.
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by with his deputy a few hours later, but they didn't have much luck. They found a few hairs, which turned out to be from Ruffles, the family dog.
Some stunning police work right there.
Indeed. There was a single witness, though, who said he could make out multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime, but nothing more than that.
So, I take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly. I'll call ahead and instruct him to give you everything you need.
That'd be great. Thanks, Charles.
Anytime. But I'm curious, what's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
What can you tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
All right. But actually, we might have some stuff in our inventory that might be of interest.
I don't need to show him that.
Just to be on the safe side, we'll go through everything.
He's being cooperative at the moment. I shouldn't push my luck.
Especially considering he's got a bodyguard sitting right there.
I don't need to show him that.
She doesn't want to set him on fire?
I don't need to show him that. I don't need to show him that. Do you recognize this, Charles?
Of course. Your grandfather, me, Jimmy Cochran, taken shortly before we went to the war.
You guys look like you just won the lottery or something.
Indeed. We were mere children, with no concept of what we were getting into.
Do you know what this key opens?
You must be truly desperate if you ask random people a question like that.
Can't hurt.
I don't need to show him that. What do you see in this picture, Charles?
Fireflies would be my best guess. They can grow terribly large around these parts.
Right. I don't know. Those in the picture look about the size of a bird. Never seen fireflies that big.
Do you know what this is?
A flower. Why don't you consult a botanist instead of bothering me with this nonsense?
All right. Well, that's all the
Thanks,
conversation.
Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself by exiting the conversation and therefore having the characters speak more. That was all the conversation options we had here. Is there anything in his room? Oh, gramophone.
Just some boring landscape paintings. Just some boring landscape paintings. Looks like Wade brought some of his old tunes with him. Looks like that guy is huge. I wonder how many cows he eats per day. I'd rather not. He'd crush me like a twig.
Wait. He'd crush you by talking to you? Well, the nurse hasn't made it back yet. Whoops. All right. Well, we have to go back to the police station, talk to the sheriff about that break-in, but we also have to go to the church. But let's go to the nature reserve first. Not in the mood for another big long conversation. This very much looks like the place.
Well, this is it. This is where the picture was taken. I'm not sure what I expected to find here. I need to clear my head. What the?
We've met before, haven't we?
Nope, just no. I'd remember a creepy bald dude with makeup. I doubt it. You look like you just escaped from a circus. That's not really my kind of gig. Think so, Mr. Clean? Unless seeing your face in a bottle of detergent counts. Well, she saw him in her dreams.
I don't think so, Mr. Clean. Unless seeing your face on a bottle of detergent counts.
Always the joker, aren't you, Kathy?
Who are you? How do you know my name?
You told me, remember?
I feel strange. Am I dreaming?
It's the mending. I will try to facilitate.
You're not real. I'm lying asleep in my bed right now.
Focus, Kathy. Listen to the drowned girl.
You mean Lily? What about her?
She's the anomaly, the missing refrain, the convergence point of things past and events yet to happen.
Dial down the metaphors a notch, would you, Mr. Kafka? I get enough of that shit in English class.
I knew you wouldn't disappoint. I'm glad, given how much trouble I went through to be here. You see, my name was taken from me, so I claimed a color in its stead. The next time we meet, you'll know the exact hue of red. You're on the right path, Kathy. Follow your grandfather, and everything will work out in the end.
Wait, what? How did I get here? Am I going crazy? Am I turning into Mom?
Are we sure it wasn't the flower that made us trip balls? Well, since we're here, we could actually stop off and talk to our grandma. But since that would probably bring about a whole long conversation, I think we'll do that in the next part. So for now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like or a comment below, subscribe to stay up to date, and I will see you in the next part. So until then, have a good one.